Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The name of my speech is The Things We Carry. What are you carrying with you tonight? Perhaps a pen and paper, and if you forgot it, maybe you're carrying a pencil. Or maybe you borrowed a pen. Or maybe you've got a notebook. Or maybe you're carrying a briefcase or knapsack to carry it all in it. Or maybe a cup of coffee or a bottle of Coke or water. But the library doesn't really like it if you carry coffee, do they? But I hope it's from Crazy Mocha and not those Seattle guys, because we're from the Berg, right? If you own a dog, maybe you're carrying with you one of these, because they seem to be in our pockets all the time, and they fall out at the most inopportune moments, and we don't have them with us when we need them. It is embarrassing. Do you carry with you memories or stories? Somehow those stories follow us all the time. Do you carry with you a feeling, perhaps? Oh, that traffic. Gee, it sure was slow on the bridge tonight. How frustrating. Where do you keep stories? Boy, we're in a library. A lot of stories are kept here. Are stories kept in a card catalog? What an odd place to keep stories. Do you put a story in a bottle and send that bottle out to sea? What an odd thing to do, but sometimes people do that. You know, if you put a story in a seed, the seed might grow. And you grow and become a garden or a forest. But a seed will just sit there, maybe for a decade, just as a seed if you don't water it. Those seeds are over at Giant Eagle in little packets, and they're just going to sit there. Just packets, when you think about it. Where do you keep your stories? Where do you keep them? Are they sitting there right now, just waiting to come out? You got a story right now with you? If you water a seed, it could grow into a huge bunch of weeds you really wish you could get rid of. Or a tree that's right next to your house that crumbles away the foundation. You really wish that tree wasn't there. If you plant a seed and your story grows and grows and grows, there's nothing stopping it. What story are you carrying? Will your story find a home? When I came here to Pittsburgh, I had just moved here, and I had carried with me a few suitcases because I was moving from overseas. And I was carrying my dog because I love my dog. That old telltale sign, those plastic bags, those two. My story was dying to come out. And I wondered, where am I going to find an audience? I came here to the North Side Toastmasters, and I started telling my story, and amazing things happened. It was like planting that amazing little itty-bitty seed. I started telling the story of how I was locked up in mental hospitals for a really long time, 30 years. It's really true. That's really true. It's really true. I started telling the story of how it wasn't true that I was a dangerous person. It wasn't true that I was a nutcase. But people only thought of me as that person. And it's really true that the police came after me a bunch of times. It really was true that they thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. And it's really true that if you're expected to act crazy, you'll act crazy. Now, what does this mean? This means a whole bunch of people are incarcerated that shouldn't be incarcerated. It means we need to knock down the walls and knock down the barriers and stop treating people like they're violent nutcases. It means if you don't want to be locked up, don't act crazy, period. It's very simple. All I had to do was get away. Get away from people that expected me to act crazy. And something amazing happened. I got better. I found out the only thing keeping me from living my life was the expectations of others. We don't need guns in schools. And I wrote to Governor Wolf, I got to back a personal letter. We don't need guns in the schools. We need art supplies, musical instruments, and music paper, right? Dance lessons. You want your kid to do better? Find a classroom where your kid is expected to do well. Expect excellence, and that's what we do here at Toastmasters. You want to do well? Find friends that expect good things from you. You will soar. Since I came to Toastmasters a year ago, I found not one job, but 2 jobs. I found not one speaking engagement, but 2 speaking engagements at fancy schmancy conferences. People are paying hundreds of dollars to go to these conferences. I have a book coming out. I'm an officer here at the club. I'm earning Competent Communicator tonight. And people ask me, why Pittsburgh? Why am I here in Pittsburgh? Why do I love this city so much? One night, well, it was evening. It was still light out. I walked across one of those bridges between the north side and downtown. And what did I see? Well, I was walking. What was on that bridge? People put their stories on the bridge. There were locks, bicycle locks with little inscriptions on each lock. Those were seeds. Those stories are you. Plant that seed and let that story grow. And as I walked across the bridge, I saw the Allegheny River carrying water through our beautiful city. And I said to myself, here I am, free at last. You can. Welcome home, Pittsburgh. Welcome home.